Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. For us here in the U.S., it's morning. For Scott, it is afternoon over in the UK today. But welcome back, everybody, to the Percepta Leadership Series. We are very excited to be back again. Today, we are joined by Scott Collins, who's actually one of our longest-standing employees at Percepta, which we're going to get into in a minute. Really excited to have Scott on today. And Meredith, great to see you. Thanks for joining. And thanks to everyone who has continued to support and watch the Leadership Series. We very much appreciate it, and have some really good shows planned for you coming up in 2023. Today, again, as I mentioned, joined by Scott Collins, our Executive Director of Operations here at Percepta. And I am not going to steal your thunder. Scott, welcome to the show. Please give everyone your name, rank, and serial number of who you are and what you do and what you look after here at Percepta.
No problem. Thanks, Kellen. Thanks, Meredith. Thanks for inviting me along as well. I'm excited to be here and really enjoyed the series so far. So you must be struggling for content if you're asking me, but yeah, nice to be here anyway. So like you say, Scott Collins, my job is Executive Director for Global Operations. I joined the company back in 2000 when it was first formed, and I started as a customer service representative in one of our UK teams. So they've not managed to get rid of me yet. And I now today am responsible for operational delivery across a number of different locations, number of different programs and client groups. So we've got teams in the UK, Germany, Brazil, Greece, Bulgaria, South Africa, Australia, Thailand, the Philippines, and then we've got 2 locations in the US that come under me. So the team in Dearborn, Michigan, and we've also got the teams in New Jersey. So it keeps me busy and it keeps me working many, many hours, but I love it. Every minute of it I love. So, yeah.
What a cool story of growth and talent mobility to say that you started as an agent and now you're looking after operations from a executive director standpoint. Really cool stuff, Scott.
Yeah, I enjoy it. And the teams that we operate with, you know, Kellen and Meredith, I know that you get a chance to speak to a lot of our teams, but we've just got such a wonderful group of people. And you know, some of those locations that I talked about, you go along to their team meetings, I defy anyone not to leave feeling better about the world and not to have a big smile on their face, you know, and they do all of that with just the best attitude and deliver the outstanding results that we see that have kept us growing as an organization. So yeah, really proud to be a part of the team, and I thoroughly enjoy every single day here at Percepta.
Wow. You said, so you've been with the company for over 20 years and started as an agent. So how has your experience evolved in building and maintaining customer relationships?
So we've seen a lot of changes with, you know, what we're doing, how we do it, the way that we operate. We've seen a lot of changes in customer expectations, but fundamentally the customers that contact our teams are still looking for the same thing. They want help. And that's where our teams really deliver. You know, they'll listen to what the customer needs. They'll work within the parameters that they're given. And we are extremely lucky to have great client partners within the brands that we represent, where they also see customer expectations and now understand how important customer experience is and retaining, building on the brand, making sure that customers come back. So I think we've now gotten ourselves to a point where over the last 20 or so years, nothing's changed in terms of customers need help, but everything's changed in how we do it, and it's changed for the better. So we're in a much better place now than we once were, and we continue to build on that. So it's a really great time for us.
Yeah, that was actually one of our questions is, you know, since you've been in the business for so long, seeing how has things changed. And I totally understand what you're saying about not, you know, as a customer, we still want the same things, but as agents, yeah, things have changed. I mean, resources are a lot easier at our fingertips to help make those decisions a little bit better and easier for our customers.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, we've come a long way in the technology that we give people as well. So, you know, there's great knowledge base, you know, that can come through. We've got articles that are being fed to our frontline teams so that they've got the answers at their fingertips. We've got better ways of tracking what it is that we've agreed with a customer, you know, and making sure that if I say I'm going to phone you back at 2:00 on a Tuesday, that's when they phone back, and they don't have to have, you know, pieces of paper, which is what we used to have back in my day. You know, it was the notepad. They've got prompts that will come up so that it means that they can hold themselves accountable for what it is that they've committed to. And that's really cool, because anything that helps our frontline teams fulfill the customer request, it results in enhanced customer satisfaction. And guess what? It results in enhanced employee satisfaction, which is a massive thing for us. We want people to feel empowered. We want them to feel that they've got the support to do the best job. And I think some of the things that we do now, we've got that, so not saying we're perfect. Nobody is, but we're getting close.
Seems like a really good frame of mind to have as a leader, Scott, that you want to make sure that your employees are happy, because, we know at Percepta, and it's kind of our thing, is the employee experience drives the customer experience. So I think that's a really good point to have, for sure.
Yeah, Kellen, I totally subscribe to that. And it's one of the things that we focus on a lot. I expend a lot of energy, and my leadership teams expend a lot of energy making sure that teams on the front line feel well supported. And, I talk about, some of the locations that we operate in. That goes all the way through every single role within our organization. It's all about making sure that our frontline employees feel valued and that they've got the support that they need. And we see that coming through in our employee satisfaction surveys. People are telling us that they enjoy their job. People are telling us that they feel that they understand how they contribute to the wider organization, but also our client's business. That's really great. And, for me, that's the secret sauce, is that, people care, which is great.
Yeah, I think I love how you're talking about taking care of the, our people, setting them up for success. What would you say that some of our biggest challenges are that are facing our industry right now? And how would you plan to overcome some of these challenges?
Well, that's a good question, Meredith. We're seeing a lot of issues right now with supply chain within the automotive industry. That's affecting all of our automotive clients. So customers waiting for a product that they've ordered, or in a lot of cases, customers that are waiting for parts to come through. That can be really difficult for our teams to handle, because we're not on the factory floor. We're not in the parts depots. We can't just put it in a bag and send it out. So a lot of the time that can be very challenging. But what they do is they stay in contact with their customer. They give them updates. They get the information that they need. And I talked earlier on about some of our client team partners. We've seen a massive change from that side as well, like I said. So now what we can do is we can hand over a file to our client leaders and say, these are the issues that our teams are coming up against that are affecting your customer. What are you going to do about it? Now, when I started, the answer was pretty close to nothing. Right? Well, that's just the way it is. You just got to accept it. Now what we're seeing is we're seeing a real vigor within our client's business to say, well, how can we solve that? What can we do differently? How can we fulfill that need? And that's really great. So I think continued partnerships, one of the ways that we can get around that. And the other thing that we see is a total change in the product lineup as well. So everyone's talking about electrification, everyone's talking about the change in fuel types, whether it's hybrid, whether it's fully electric. And that means that the customer's problem is changing, or the things that customers need help with is changing. So we continue to evolve our training, our onboarding, making sure that people are getting refreshers on the products that are coming out, the issues that customers are coming up against, and helping them to solve those problems or to give advice. So it could be to do with charging networks. It could be to do with, something that doesn't work the way that they expected it. It could be something that they're just completely unfamiliar with. And that's our job, is to be the voice of our client's brand, to say, here's how we'll solve that, and to do it in a nice, friendly, and supportive way.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing this proactively, which is awesome. And that was kind of actually what we were going to kind of talk to you a little bit about, is our operational delivery, and just talking about how your team's techniques of operational delivery go into like maintaining a positive relationship with our customers. And I think that kind of what you just said kind of at least starts that conversation for sure.
Yeah, most certainly, Kellen. And I do think, in various locations, South Africa was the first one to kick it off under, my operational remit. But in various locations now, we're trying to get on the front foot with customers, trying to preempt what it is that they might need, and where possible, reach out to them to give them a solution before they even know that they need it, and that's really great. So we're using, information from connected vehicles where the customer's authorized that. We're able to use roadside assistance feeds to be able to understand who it is that's gone off road. And the reaction from our customer base has been phenomenal. We started doing it in South Africa at the start of 2022. And throughout the course of the year, we saw some really phenomenal results and some real positive feedback from our customer base that appreciated the reach out. Now, in some cases, it was being solved anyway. In some cases, the customer didn't need our help, but they appreciated the reach out on behalf of the brand. And I think that is some of, how we start to move forward is, reinforcing that the brand cares, reinforcing that the brand is here when you need them, but not waiting for them to come to you, so it's really cool. So we're doing a lot of work at Percepta to look at proactive and preemptive solutions that mean that we're giving customers what they need before they need it, which is great.
When I think of
really great
driving, what is it, Kellen, driving frictionless customer experiences? Like, I think of you and your group.
Yeah.
Because I feel like from everything you're talking about, you're talking about, taking care of your front line and your front line taking care of the customer. And it's just, it's really what Percepta is all about.
Being proactive.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah. So what does the future of automotive BPO look like to you?
Well, how long have we got? So, talked about product lineups. The other thing that's changing rapidly is our customer base. So we're now at a point where, across the various generational types, people want to interact with brands in different ways. So when I first started, you guys talked about when I started, it wasn't a quill and ink, right? Okay, it wasn't, I'm not that old, but it was very simplistic. It was voice, or you wrote a physical letter. You sat down, you wrote a letter and you put it in the post. Now we've got so many different channels that we support customers through, whether that's voice, email, live chat. We're on, social forums. We've got, a variety of different tools, two-way SMS. We've got WhatsApp. There's a whole bunch of different ways that customers can interact with us. So I do think that as our business evolves and as our customer types continue to evolve with that, and we need to then tap into individual preference. And in some cases, customers will contact us. They'll start with a chat, and then they want to switch over to voice as it becomes more complex. And that's part of what I think is going to be coming down the line for us. And for some of my client teams, I've been talking about metaverse and, how does that fit into the future? And, is that more about a brand builder when you first pick up your vehicle and we're talking around the features and benefits, or does it become a concern resolution tool as well? So I think there's a lot of exciting things coming, and there's a lot of opportunity to lean on technologies. I think the critical part, and the part that we mustn't forget, is it's not about what suits me from an operational delivery point of view. It needs to be what suits the customer. And no matter how much we want to push people towards a specific channel because it's easier, cheaper, quicker for us, we need to make sure that we keep listening to the customer's voice and that we keep giving them support in the manner that they want. So that's of paramount importance.
I love it. It seems like, it's just always that focus on making sure we can deliver in the right way. So no matter if it's better for us or not, it's about putting that customer first. So.
Yeah.
Really, really cool stuff, Scott. We appreciate you taking a few minutes to just dive into probably some topics that we could talk about at length all day, I'm sure. But it's great to have you on and just to kind of get an idea of the things that you're doing, your teams are doing, and kind of just talking about a little bit about the automotive industry, which is awesome. And really, really kind of our bread and butter spot. So really, really cool stuff, Scott. Thanks again for joining us on the Leadership Series. And thanks to everyone. Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely our pleasure. And thanks to everyone who's watched and continued to watch and support the Leadership Series at Percepta. More to come soon. And thanks to everyone for joining. Hope everybody has a great day.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.